Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the final game of the IEM World Championship Season 6 Finals here between SKMC and EG Puma. Of course, Puma is our blue Terran player, spawning here at the top right of Antigua Shipyard up against MC at the bottom left. Of course, finally, I managed to introduce my map in the past couple games. It's been halfway through. I made a point of doing this, and let's hope you're satisfied now. The last game went to MC as he evened the score in a fantastically played, I would say, Blink Stalker rush, as he was able to force Puma back into his own two bases and then denied the third with a nice proxy pylon, hit hard before Puma could tech up to Ghosts or do any sort of drop pressure. And after the two games before that had gone to Puma because of drop pressure, as in each of those games, MC pushed out, Puma dropped, and Puma defended smartly using SCVs to assist his force. And MC was just getting tired of it, and he would not have any of that in game number 4. So now it is perfectly even. It all comes down to this. The winner of this StarCraft 2 game will be walking out of here with $35,000. I almost want to be like, this feels like a live cast. I almost want to like turn to a random audience to just be like, round of applause please, and everybody goes nuts in anticipation. So Puma is getting a gas right away as MC opts for his gateway and a sim as well. His probe just going to pass by this Zelnaga, not going to stay there. Traditional barracks wall. I've been making this little comment in each game because in game number 1 Puma did not have the traditional barracks. He had the faked proxy barracks. Well, I don't even, maybe he was intending on the proxy barracks, but then backed out of it, or was just trying to mislead MC. I'm still confuzzled, which is, of course, just a slang term for confused, to this day as to why Puma would do so. And now MC just is going to go for the minor worker harass here, as he does see this wall. Barracks is going to finish here, Marine in production. Again, that fantastic professional timing right on cue. The second the barracks is done, the Marine is on its way out, as the orbital command comes from Puma and the cybernetics core from MC. So no major deviations so far. Each player sticking to their respective reliable opener. And I'm not sure exactly what to expect here. I know If I were Puma at this point, I would be very torn, because the drop play worked in games 2 and 3, but it failed quite miserably in game 4. So MC changed his strategy, went for that Blink Stalker instead of the Protoss Death Ball, because he knew he would be outdropped. So I don't know if Puma's going to stick to his guns here, or if he's going to try to change it up, because there is so much on the line, so he's going to have to make the right judgment, as it could cost him $20,000 worth of money should he fail. And he did offer that late game Ghost Academy, but it did not work out for him, as MC was knocking on his doorstep. So he has 2 Marines here going to fend off against this probe. Well, he does scout his opponent. The Stalker is going to take out the SCV in a matter of hits, and there it goes, blowing to pieces, as this probe and Zealot run along in a nice open Antigua Shipyard desert as friends. Of course not. No, I was going to say an open field, and then I realized that Antigua Shipyard completely devoid of that. So we already have a Hellion. So Puma is deciding to change things up a little bit. The Hellion and Starport now. Will we see? No, there's going to be no second racks. Just a quick bunker here to hold off, allowing Puma to tech up. So usually Puma would get the reactor on his factory, and then switch it up with the starport to get the fast medevacs in order to allow him to drop. He's not going to do so right away in this game, opting for 2 Hellions. And let's see how he can pull off that 2 Hellion pressure, as MC is going for the fast expand. Puma is not, though. He's trying to deny the expansion, actually, here at the natural with 2 Stalkers and a Zealot. These 3 Marines will not be able to do too much. It looks as though they did some shields damage to the Stalker, the Stalker's 1 kill was an SCV, and there's going to be another SCV here, so potential expansion denied. The wall is raised here, and MC going to try to put some pressure on his opponent. He will lose this Zealot. No, not even, the Zealot escapes unscathed. Not even 1 hit point worth of damage taken off. Of course, the shield's damage, but that is recoverable. So now there's going to be 3 Hellions and a medevac. Hellion drops. So of course Puma's going to stick to his main gun, which is dropping. But now he's going to opt for the Hellions. Oh, he's not even going to move into the opposing base with the medevac. Instead, just opting to. Oh, I see what he meant to do. He circumvented the opponent's Stalkers and Zealots waiting outside of his base, but he's not going to have too much to hit here. Just a handful of probes at the natural, so he's going to run these Hellions into the main, but a nice force field from the Stalkers, so there still will be a large amount of probes picked off, but I don't know if that's exactly going to prove to have been the best investment for Puma, because Hellions, the cost of Hellions in comparison to the cost of probes is just very drastic. So let's see how many workers he was able to pick off. 9 total, so 9 times 50 is 450 minerals. These Hellions cost 100, so I guess you could say that's somewhat economical, as 300 minerals to 450. But ultimately, it did not have the intended effect. Very nice force field there from MC. Beautiful reaction. So now Puma is going to push him back with his Marine Force here, guided by the 1 medevac. Let's see how MC reacts to this, as there is no reactor on the starport, just simply medevac streaming out. So no actual heavy drop play, I wouldn't imagine, and unless Puma invests in the reactor, or yeah, I would say unless Puma invests in the reactor, there should not be too much drop play seen here. So MC, though, seeing this fast medevac, may be a little bit curious and expect mass drops, but no, my bad. There is going to be a Marine drop here. Let's see if MC can react to this well. He may see it with the Stalker. Is he seeing this right now? Yes, he is. So he's going to be at the react with all of these Stalkers, but Puma is going to be at the land in the base before any too many Stalkers can arrive to defend. There's going to be 1 Zealot, a couple of sentries, now another Zealot moving in, and it looks like this drop force will be denied. So Puma is sticking to his guns here, but his guns are running out of ammo because MC saw it coming with the Stalker. And now there actually has been a Zealot in Puma's base. Little confused there. I need to keep my eyes on my mini-map. These players are just at such a high level, it becomes difficult at times for me to do so, so there is a bunker coming under siege. But MC is going to be running his forces over here to the ramp. He will have so many SCVs to pick off, as, wow, all of the SCVs were running out there. He did not pick off too many, though. No, not as many as he might have been able to. There was quite a few SCVs out there, so I suppose he must have just ran a Zealot in to inflict havoc, to wreak havoc, seeing as the wall was lifted. Twilight Council coming from MC, and there has been from Puma a handful of bunkers, 2 more racks, and still no add-ons to his starport or factory, and now finally the natural here. I'm saying finally because for this Terran player, he's fast expended in every game, and now these Stalkers pulling back to defend their respective main. So some back and forth harassment play here. The proxy pylon is seen though from Puma, and he's going to pick it off, which will cut off some Protoss reinforcements. MC getting that Twilight Council. He will probably go into Templar Archives or just the Blink again, as he did in the past in Game 4 successfully. So that there is Blink on the way, and MC. That's a problem sometimes with Protoss players. When they build a proxy pylon, they forget that it probably will be destroyed relatively soon, and then they get briefly supply blocked after they lose it. So there is going to be the reactor on the factory. I'm not sure if this will be switched with the starport, but then again, Puma would have probably just built it straight on the starport, so reactored Hellions could be on the way here. No, he's going to lift it off, so I do not understand why he would not just build it straight on the starport instead of having to lift it off. Perhaps there's some strange reasoning I do not understand. Weapons level 1 here on the way from Puma, and concussive shells. Stimpaks had finished combat shields as well, so he is upgrading extensively. But MC had the upgrades tab, well, the production tab was quite similar in the past game, but MC still came out on top just because of Blink. And now there will potentially be a large-scale drop here from Puma. Both players at identical population, 86 to 86, and let us see how this goes. Those grenades, wow, that's so awesome how they just fly up and curve into the warp gates. Never even really noticed that. And these Stalkers will be able to blink down to the low ground if they want to pick off the Marine Marauder Force, which has been recently stemmed up, and they do just that. Now, moving in here to the middle of the map to probably try to intercept the M&M ball, and there they go, hitting some medevacs and picking off the scout Marine there. I believe there was just a scout Marine, perhaps 2 units, but now they are blinking forward, eliminating medevac support. They pick another off there and leave a third at 20 health. So Puma's healing capabilities have been cut off, and now SCV's running to the front lines, preparing to defend. Puma has done that so very many times in this series, defending with SCVs, but now MC using this beautiful Blink Micro to blink the weakened Stalkers back. He did that in the last game. I did not cover it that well, but look, he's blinking the weakened Stalkers back, and thus picking off not just 3 workers actually in that. Actually, no, 7 workers in that engage, if I have counted right, because the last time I checked he was at 3. So not as economical as I might have thought. Puma did hold off quite well with the SCVs and bunkers, but now MC is going to be investing in that Templar Archives, as I did rumor at before, and 2 forges to get some serious ground upgrades. And there's the Ghost Academy yet again from Puma. And did I just say MC is getting the Templar Archives? Because I may have said Puma. I don't know why. These 2 players, I seem to mix up their names so often, even though they're not very similar at all, MC and Puma. I mean, they're pretty different, but I still find a way to mix them up. As I did say, ground weapons and ground armor level 1, both on the way from MC, and there is going to be Mobius Reactor. That is, I believe, Ghost starting energy, but the Ghost Academy has finished now, so let us see how Puma manages to use this Ghost play. He did not do too much with them in either of the Game 3 and Game 4 where he invested in Ghosts. He never actually ended up using them because in Game 3 he won the game before this was possible, and in Game 4 he lost the game before this was possible. Where is this Ghost Academy anyway? Somewhere around here, right here. So he has, yeah, that is, yeah, as I guessed correctly, plus 25 starting Ghost energy. Chart will soon finish for our Protoss player. He does have the 3rd on the way. A little bit behind his opponent, but MC did beat Puma to the 2nd in the natural race. He beat him, so now they're somewhat tied economically. Let's check our income tab. So MC a little bit ahead, but Terran players do have access to mules, so they usually, I would argue, a Terran player, even a Terran player and Protoss player of equal skill, the Terran will have slightly less harvesters. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Zerg will always have the most, Protoss in the middle, Terran with the least. That just seems to be the way it works. It doesn't necessarily mean the Terran player will have a weaker economy, because as I said, he can just call down mules, moving the factory in here now to absorb some damage, as he's not opting for reactor Hellions, as I've rumored, but he's getting the armory to further his weapons and armor upgrades, as he does have 1-1 now, soon finishing. Psionic Storm on the way from MC, so if he can use this correctly against this massive biological force, he could win this one. So let us see how this goes. I'm not sure if MC would fare too well in a direct engage. Never mind, he warped in a bunch of Zealots and a couple of High Templar, which would deal a lot of damage. This factory going to fall, so it did not tank too much damage at all. And there it goes, exploding in the skies, raining down on the M&M. I'm surprised they did not take any. That'd be pretty cool. Hesper brought that up to me. Imagine if debris could cause damage, but these charge rots are moving in. Archons, sentries dealing damage. Psionic Storm does finish, and it will land, inflicting so much punishment on the biological force of Puma. Another devastating storm is going to land around the Marauder line, and I just think MC is going to come out on top of this engage. The Ghosts moving in here. They do have Cloak finished, but oh, I just don't see if this one's going to work out for Puma at all. Wait, do Ghosts actually have to research Cloak? I don't think, that's just Banshees. I may be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure Ghosts just start off with Cloak. That is just one of their features. And so MC now forcing his opponent back, and never mind, I just remembered seeing that little logo there at the Ghost Academy. Cloak is an upgrade, so my bad. It slipped me up. I was a little bit confused, but nonetheless, MC now has forced his opponent back and has so many charge lot reinforcements, and these charge lots are really the answer to Puma's using SCVs and using the stutter step micro. As soon as they get their 5-second recharge, they charge. Recharge, fun. So weapons level 2 on the way for Puma, but because of his 2 forges, MC has weapons and armor level 2. He will, in short time, outpace his opponent. But there is a second energy bay here, and there we go, the second one finally put to use. Maybe Puma just did not have the economical means to research this in sync with this. and so there's an Archon morphing and a plethora of units. I love to say plethora, by the way, if you've taken note. I say it an awful lot. He's using this middle of the map proxy pylon to reinforce, and now MC is going to kill a couple of SCVs. The stutter step micro here coming from Puma, but the charge lots are going to tank a lot of damage, allowing the Archons to deal a few devastating hits. If a High Templar can get a nice storm off, that will probably be a final GG from Puma, and a victory for MC if he can just land a nice Sonic Storm. That would just cripple the force. So these ghosts here getting some essential shots off. I'm not sure if Puma has actually gotten very many EMPs off, but most of his ghosts have not lived to have enough energy for it. But a nice concave here from Puma. He's able to get just that little surround, not necessarily a surround, but a ranged surround, I will say, as he picks off the retreating Protoss force, but it's still quite even, and MC's a little bit ahead. He has dealt devastating damage to the third, cutting off Puma's third base, so this could be the GG right away here. Here's 4 ghosts getting some beautiful snipes out, but not the best idea to waste them on the charge lots. The High Templar just hanging out in the background, and this Marauder is not going to be able to finish off the High Templar. There's the charge lots pinning the M&M in the corner. There's an alright Storm, just hurting some medevacs. Now, sorry, how can a Storm hurt medevacs? What am I saying? No, I just don't see how this is going to work out for Puma. MC has forced him back, has taken out his third base. He's now landed some 6 mules, but I don't think he has the military means to force his Protoss opponent back. There's 3-3 on the way from MC. Puma only at 2-1 with 2-2 finishing. He just has a ton of gas, but mineral-wise, completely depleted. He's going to try to drop the Protoss player to break the siege that has befallen his base. Let's see if it can work out for him. I'm just not sure, though, because there are quite a lot of warp gates. 6 gates with 2 more on the way, so that's that late-game transition. The late-game 8 gate. So here's MC kind of testing the waters of the Terran player's third, who will soon drop. Let's see how this one finishes up for Puma. Let's see how many workers he can kill. This could change the balance of the game. Of course, 35,000 is on the line. Many warpings could come in, though, and charge lots will deal devastating damage to the drop force. It's only a handful of Marines and Marauders, and as I said, there are those charge lots on the way. Only 2 of them, though. So MC is probably waiting for his warp cycle to be ready, and there it is. 2 more charge lots on the way, getting a nice kill here on the Marauder, and there's 3 Stalkers. So MC, all the while holding off the drop, is going to get a nice Psionic Storm. Be forced back, but look at the population. He's almost double his opponents and has defended the drop, built a couple pylons to repower the warp gates. So that's what Puma's tried at. That's what Puma's tried in so many games. It worked in games 2 and 3, using the drop to pull the Protoss player away from the main battle. But Puma's going to hit pretty hard here with an M&M force. Let's see if the Archon Stalker charge lot force is going to do some damage here for MC, and these ghosts are actually not detected. I don't think MC has any means to see them, but there is the GG from Puma, so that will end our series here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if these ghosts were hit because of area damage, or if they were just hit because MC had some sort of detection, which is not feasible. He was getting the robotics, though, to see ghosts should the game progress further. Nonetheless, that wraps up the series. You saw it here, ladies and gentlemen. MC from SK Gaming, and of course South Korea, crowned champion of the IEM Season 6 World Championship Finals in Hanover, Germany. $35,000 to him. Well played by Puma as well. He gets $15,000. So I will catch you guys very soon with another series, DMAGA vs. Cast. This is a dual commentary that will be coming up a little bit later this week. Hope you enjoyed this cast. Feel free to leave any feedback. Catch you guys soon. Austin signing out.